why am I back making another video for Dark Girl Chronicles talking about COVID? Yeah. I have now had COVID twice in 5 months. I have COVID right now. Like literally right now. I'm on day 5 of COVID. Yeah, day 5. I caught COVID at work again. Thanks to my work buddy, who's supposed to be helping me and coaching me. We sat up in a meeting for an hour and a half. No masks on. Because I was just getting to the point where I felt a little comfortable with not having to wear a mask so much in the office. No. That was a bad idea. That was a very bad idea on my part, apparently. Because we had a meeting for an hour and a half. And the next day, and I was fine. He sounded fine. Next day, he pops positive for COVID. That was on Thursday that we had the meeting. He popped positive on Friday. Guess what happened on Saturday? I started showing symptoms. And I'm like, are you fucking serious right now? Are you serious? I went and got tests on Sunday. Took a test. Positive. And I said, there's no way that I'm not positive. There's no way. Because I sat up in a room with this man for an hour and a half with the door closed. And neither one of us had on masks. And he was positive. So I've now had COVID for the second time in 5 months. All things considered, I'm doing well. Like I say, I'm on day 5. Day 0 was Saturday when I started showing symptoms. So, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Because today is Thursday. It also helps that I'm off from work. I took 3 days off at the end of the week. Just because I wanted to take some time off. I just said, I feel like taking some time off. I just gone through this big program at work that we had been working on for like a month or so. And I was like, I'll take some time off after this program. I'm back on the side that I started on at work. So I was like, I'll take some time off. Relax. Calm down a little bit. Now that we're winding down on this. Yeah, no. Boss man had different plans. And I was like, God damn it. I literally just got over. I was just at the point where my sinuses weren't draining all day, every day. Like I had talked about in my previous video, where I was just recovering. I think I had been like maybe a month or so removed from recovering from COVID. 5 months to the day that I recovered, where I tested negative again after having had COVID, moderate COVID. Okay, it wasn't severe, thank God, because I was on Paxlovid. But 5 months to the day, I tested positive. I was so mad. I like the guy a lot. I do. I like him a lot. We have a lot in common. I get along with him really well, and we work really well together. But he also gave me COVID. So this time around, symptoms have been very mild because I was very smart. I waited my 3 months after we had COVID the first time. Brandon and I had COVID the first time, they recommend that you wait 3 months before you go get boosted and or vaccinated after an infection. So I waited the 3 months, went and got boosted again, like at Christmas. So my 3 months was up like November, and I was like, ooh, that 3 month immunity period was up, and I was like, ooh, we need to go get boosted. I'm so glad I did, because I went at Christmas. I went like the 23rd of December and was like, hey, check this out. I'm high risk. I need to get boosted. And they were like, okay. And I was like, yeah, I had COVID like 3 months ago, 4 months ago. Yeah, it was unpleasant. So please go ahead and give me this booster now so that if I should happen to be infected again, I have some means of protection so that it is not as bad. And sure enough, just in time for Valentine's Day. So I'm doing well. My symptoms are really mild because of that booster. I have, instead of the headache and the body chills and the fever and all that I had the first time, I have had at most a runny nose, nasal congestion. I got a little phlegm. I've been coughing up phlegm, sneezing, tickle in the throat. My throat was sore like 2 days ago. But other than that, it's super mild, which only because of that booster. I promise you, if it had been far away from the booster, I would have been sicker this time. So I didn't get on Paxlovid this time. I've not called my doctor and been like, hey, I need to get on Paxlovid. Because it's not been severe, thankfully. And I'm very, very, very thankful for that. Listen, I'm out here literally thanking God that I am not as sick as I was the first time and not as sick as I could be, even this second time. So I'm so thankful for that. I'm thanking God for science also, so that I went and got boosted like I was supposed to. I am one of those people that the fourth booster was made for. So yeah, I am one of those people, because diabetes and high blood pressure equal high risk problems that you don't want. And so anytime that I get sick, it seems to be 10 times worse than everything else, like for everybody else. So yeah, I'm one of them people who need the booster. And I need this to be a regular shot every year. Hell, twice a year if we could get away with it. I really, 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 really need this to become a regular, hey, we're giving you shots once a year. Come sign up and get your yearly COVID shot. I'll get in line. I'll be the first one. Listen, I'll take a little bit of arm discomfort if it means that when I manage to be exposed to COVID for the umpteenth time, all it is a stuffed up nose. And I can work from the house and be fine. Otherwise, I don't have to worry about getting on Paxlovid. I don't have to go to the hospital. I don't have to worry about potentially dying. I'll take it. My arm will just hurt for a day. Which it did. This last booster, it hurt for a day. And I was fine. I put some icy hot on it. And I think I used some Tiger Balm, maybe. I may have used Tiger Balm. I used like one of those two, and I was fine. And that was that. A little bit of discomfort went a long way. So I cannot stress how annoying this is, that I have COVID again within 5 months of the last infection. And it's from the same source. It's not the same person, but it's the same source, which is work. I'm like, seriously? I shouldn't have to go to work and be scared I'm going to catch fucking COVID because people don't know how to come in here and wear a mask. I don't understand why this is so fucking hard. Like, this is a big deal. Stop giving people COVID. Like, I love my job, but fuck sakes, can y'all not give me COVID constantly? I like, I'm at a loss right now. And dude bro was like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, well, kind of late to be sorry, guy, because I have symptoms and I just took a test and popped up positive for something that's mandatory. It ain't like I can choose to be like, no, I don't want to sit up in a room with you. Yes, I should have worn my mask. Something told me. I remembered I said, oh, hell, I left my mask at my desk. I should be fine, though. This guy seems to have some sense. Alas, we did not make a good judgment call there. So that part's on me. But for fuck's sake, don't come to work and you'd have been doing risky ass shit. And then you could possibly pop positive. So I don't even, I'm really mad right now. Mad is an understatement. Because, again, this guy, I assumed, had sense. So I told him, and I do feel this way, he better be really glad that I really like him. Because otherwise I'd have gone in there and raised hell. All kind of hell. Really, guy? Like, really, guy? Come on, guy. You supposed to be better. You supposed to know better and you supposed to do better. So forgive me if during this video I am coughing and or my nose is being weird and I sound awful. Man, the other day I sounded like a man. I swore I woke up yesterday morning and I sounded awful. I sounded like a man. I sounded worse than I really was. I sounded like a man. Like, my voice was extremely deep and super gravelly, and I just sounded awful. Like, I mean, I don't have a super high-pitched feminine voice to start with, but it sounded horrible. I told my husband, I was like, baby, I'm sorry, I sound like a man right now. And he was like, it's okay, I understand you have COVID. Because, yeah, so about that. So husband has been exposed to me. I mean, he been exposed to me Thursday when I was exposed. So Friday morning, I woke him up and I told him, I was like, oh no. Guy at work has tested positive. I was just in a meeting with him yesterday. And we didn't have on masks. And he was like, oh shit, this is bad. And I was like, yeah, it's bad. So kept waiting. He showed some symptoms. He got a little phlegm and he's kind of sneezing a little bit, coughing a little bit, but nothing as much as like I have. Nose has been a little runny. Okay, so I was like, all right, so clearly we both have been exposed. I've tested positive. We need to test you. So tested husband Monday morning at like 5 a.m. because for whatever reason he couldn't go to sleep. I guess worried because his wife has COVID again. Because I called him and told him when I took my test that I was positive. Like, I told him, I was like, yeah, I'm positive. And clearly I'm showing symptoms. So I'm positive. So you need to be careful when you come back in the house because COVID. Welcome back to the COVID club. So he took a test. He took a test Monday morning. Negative. And I'm like, we've had enough time here where you've been negative. You've been from exposure to test time where you should pop positive on this test. You're clearly showing some symptoms too. And you started showing symptoms the same day that I did. Okay. But you're negative. That's weird. All right. So we took another test later on Monday morning. Still negative. I'm like, all right. So, all right, maybe we tested too soon for you. Tuesday, took a test. Negative. And I'm like, what is happening right now? why are you negative? That's now 3 tests that you've popped negative. But you're clearly showing symptoms. Like, this doesn't make any sense. So, yesterday, Wednesday, I said, okay, well, Tuesday, I said, all right, get a lab test done and let's determine what's going on here. And I think I'm trying to think, did he do it on Wednesday? Yes, he did. He took the lab test on Wednesday. They also gave him a rapid test. So like the home test. So they gave him a home test and a lab test. How about he came back and told me this morning, we were around each other. I'm still contagious, mind you. He tells me this morning he got a call back finally from the lab and from his people that, he took the test with. He's still negative on all of the tests, the rapid and the lab. And I'm like, wait a minute, how is it that you are negative? That doesn't make any sense. I am clearly positive, full-blown positive, and like obvious symptoms. You have been exposed to me this entire time. Like, we did not isolate this time, because I said, and he said too, if one of us pops positive, the other one's probably going to be positive too. Because we live in we share the same space. It is incredibly hard for one of you to be positive and the other one not be too. So it's almost impossible that both of you won't be positive at some point. So I don't know. I don't get it. Like, he's still negative. We did not isolate this time from each other. We slept in the same bed. We wore masks to bed. That was a thing. But we did not Thursday night when I was unknowingly exposing him to me being sick. So I don't understand. We literally, like the last time he got it from me, because literally we share the same space. He was in my face and didn't realize that he was, sick. That I was sick and exposing him, and that he was sick. So it took him several days for him to pop positive. Around about day 5 is when he finally showed up positive. I suspect he was positive before that, but either way, I'm like, how are you still positive? And I'm on day 5, and I'm clearly positive. But this is my theory about this, is that 2 things. 1, he didn't get a high enough viral load from me in order for him to appear positive on a test. But he got enough to be sick, and at least to start presenting some symptoms. Okay, so the viral load is important, because if you get a small dose of it, you'll be sick, but you ain't gonna be like sick. Like where you're just like ridiculously sick, like I was the first time. Nah, you probably aren't gonna be like super sick. But if you like me and you sat in this meeting with this person for an hour and a half and the COVID's just, you're gonna be sick. Okay, so obviously too, I am more susceptible to severe COVID here. So yeah, my symptoms are probably still gonna be, even though I was vaccinated and boosted around the same time he was, it's still gonna be hard on my system. It's still gonna be just a tad bit worse than what it would be for him. So I think that's one part of it. The other part of this that I think is going on is that because he's not as susceptible to COVID, he does not have underlying symptoms like I do. It's not going to affect him as hard. And we also, I think the vaccines and things do really well for him. I mean, it did well for me too, because it's keeping me out of the hospital. Clearly, I'm not like in the hospital. But for him, it does. It's like it's working really, really well for him. He didn't really. I mean, he said he felt kind of tired a little bit, but he wasn't like ridiculously sick. So, and this time around, like I say, this time he barely had a sniffle. So, like he did the last time. and he's not appearing positive on any tests. I suspect maybe in a couple of days, I'm going to test him again, probably maybe a day or so from now, maybe tomorrow. I might test him and see, because like I said, he's clearly got COVID. He's got COVID. He's got symptoms, but it's nowhere near as much as, say, my COVID. So I'm curious to see if he'll ever pop positive on any test. So I'm looking to test to return to work, physically return to work on the 22nd, because I will take a test on the 21st. That'll be my 10th day. And then I'm going to test on the 22nd to see if I'm negative again. And then I'll go back physically to work. My symptoms are starting to subside, in that my nose is starting to calm down. I'm still, if you can hear me, I know you can hear me with this microphone that I got on, but my nose is really stuffed up. So you can hear it. But yeah, I'm stuffed up. But I took some Dayquil earlier. I had him go to the Walgreens and get me some Dayquil and some Claritin. I'm gonna take some Claritin before I go to bed tonight, and I'll try to space out my dosage so that I don't have two interfering medicines going on and like a large dosage of it all at once. I'm gonna do that before I go to bed tonight. Like I said, I'm off, so I don't have to go anywhere. So it'll be, I won't like go to bed super early tonight or anything. So yeah, we're dealing with COVID yet again. Otherwise, we haven't really talked about it, and we haven't really told too many people. I've told Aunt A so that somebody in my family would know that I was sick again. Of course, she went and told everybody else, and it was like, I really didn't need you to do all that, but all right, fine. Whatever helps you feel better. So, of course, then my Aunt D called, or my Aunt D texted, and Cousin T texted to say, oh, we heard from Aunt A that you had COVID again. How are you feeling? I'm pretty shitty, but I mean, that's to be expected because COVID. So, but no, I mean, I did appreciate the fact that they did check in. So I'm not upset about that. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. We have not told his parents. I don't see any need to tell his parents, to be quite honest. I mean, these people don't care about me, so it's not as if they're going to be all up in arms about, oh, well, your wife's got COVID again. Well, make sure you stay away from her so she won't give it to you. Well, it was a little late for that, don't you think? So, yeah, I was like, yeah, don't tell your parents, please, because they don't really give a shit about me. So it's one half a dozen or the other. Like, all you're going to do is open yourself up to more nonsense and foolishness dealing with, well, you need to make sure you stay away from her. I'm married to the man. Like, he's not going to leave his very sick wife who's sick with this disease. He's not leaving his wife unattended when he can safely be around her with a mask on. Like, at this point, if he ain't got it from me, which, like I say, I'm fairly certain he is actually positive. But if he ain't got it by now, he ain't gonna get it. So, yes, I'm still contagious. I'm contagious all the way up until I test negative. Hopefully I won't test positive again after. That would be helpful too. So, yeah, I mean, I'm contagious all the way up until day 10 or however long. So, yeah, I'm just like, I don't like y'all. And so that you don't have, I told him, I was like, so that you don't have to deal with nonsense and all. If I were you, please don't tell them. Because you're not going to get well wishes and, oh, hey, sorry to hear that your wife is sick again. It's going to be, well, make sure she doesn't get you sick. I hate them. So, otherwise, I'm doing all right. I'm intending that this will be the first episode of season 5. So, welcome to season 5 of Dark Girl Chronicles. my life is terrible because I keep getting sick. Um, but yeah, no, I'm intending that this will be the start of season 5. Finally, we are in 2023, and it's I was I started season 4 way back in 2016, 2017 ish. So yeah, we should be on like season 9 or 10 at this point. Um, yeah, we should be on season 10 or 11. I don't even know at this point because I think I started it December 31st, 2012 is when my first episode of Dark Girl Chronicles happened. So, yeah, this year is important because 10 years, me and the mister have been together for 10 years. We were married for 2, but, like, together overall in a serious relationship for 10. So, if you guys will remember, I talked about us on camera starting to date. Don't know what episode, but I know we started dating. It was somewhere in season 2, I think it was. We started dating. So, and I believe it's the episode, where, I'm actually in a room in this house looking exactly like this and talking about the fact that we were going to Nashicon 2013 and that I was anticipating us starting to like officially date. So yeah, it's been 10 years. It has been 10 years. It's the happiest, well, mine is, okay, let me clarify that. Minus some deaths here and there, it has been the happiest 10 years of my life in terms of significant other relationship, marriage stuff. It's been the happiest I've ever been. We very seldom argue. I mean, we get on each other's nerves, but I would not trade him for anything in the world. He is the best husband and the most kindest. I know that's grammatically incorrect, but the most kindest, best dude I have ever known in my whole life. Like, he treats me well, and I'm very happy being with him and being married to him and sharing my life with him and just being together. Like, I try not to tell him all the time. I try not to bug him so much because I know sometimes he'd be like, "Oh my God, my wife is so annoying," and I'm like, "Man, I'm not trying to be annoying. I just like you a lot." Like, I just like spending time with him. Like, he'll be sitting in the room on his phone, and I'll just be sitting there looking at him, and he'd just be like, "Why are you looking at me like that?" And I'm like, "Cause I just want to look at you. You're fucking fine for no reason." Like, I know I fussed about him a lot when we were dating. I know there's a couple episodes where I fussed a lot. Cause he would do stuff that would just be like, "Come on, guy. I know you know better. Like, come on, guy. You like top of the class 99% of the time, and then that 1% you're doing stuff that you know you shouldn't be doing." So I am extraordinarily happy with him. I mean, the time has just flown by just because, I mean, time flies when you're having fun. I can tell you that. That actually is true. Like, it took me, I had to stop and think about it at the beginning of the year. I was like, wait a minute. Wait, it's 2023? Oh, dude, we've been together for, man, that means we could be together 10 years this year. That's amazing. So, yeah, I just, I very much am just in awe of him. He makes me a better person. Like, he inspires me to do good and to be a good person. There are some times when I have very, very, very petty moments, and I'm just like, I hate people. Right now with COVID, this is one of those times. Um, but his name means beacon light, and um, he very much is a beacon of goodness in the darkness. Because I'm sure it's just like, I hate people, and I'm a very dark person on the inside. Hence my name, Dark Rubes, here on YouTube. There's very much a story behind uh, why my name on YouTube is Dark Rubes, and pretty much everywhere is Dark Rubes. Yeah, that dark ain't there for nothing. But he's very much the light to my darkness. So I have to like be careful sometimes, because like I'll just be like super obsessed with him. And it's just like, what are you doing? Why are you looking at me like that? And I'm just like, God just sent you to me, didn't he? He just said, hey, check this out. I got a job for you. Angel, I need you to, Angel Brandon, I need you to go down there. Listen, I got a job for you that's going to span a lifetime, okay? You're going to go down there. You're going to kind of, I need you to fix one of the humans. I need you to go fix one of the humans. And just, go down there and be decent. You know how we taught you in angel school? Yeah, go down there and be decent. Like, you'll find her. She's gonna be there. You're gonna stumble on her and you're gonna be like, hey, this is it. I think this is the one God was talking about. Yeah. It's like that for me. I swear, God must put that man on earth to come rescue me and like help me not be awful. Because on a number of different occasions I have gone to do something really terrible, and I thought about it and I looked at him and I was like, yeah, I shouldn't probably do that, because if I do that, he's keeping me from doing this. Just remember the good influence that Brandon has had on you, and that he would want you to be a good person. Be good bear. Don't be bad bear. Be good bear. And we've not done some things that that would very likely probably land us in a very metal place that don't like for us to have visitors. That kind of thing. So yeah, I'm just like, yeah, no. Yeah. So I always say, Brandon saved me. Like, and it's not even just as my husband or even as my boyfriend, even as my friend. When we were friends, Brandon like saved me from so much like darkness. Like, I promise y'all, he saved me. Like, he was that friend who was like, hey, guy, come on. We're going to go out. We're not going to think about this right now. We're going to go do something else to take your mind off the stuff that's going on. He has always been my biggest cheerleader. Like, he takes care of me. Like, when I'm sick. This whole time with COVID. Both times. He took care of me as best as he could while trying not to get sick. Well, unfortunately, wife keeps getting him sick. So I was like, hey, guy, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I keep getting you sick. This is not what I intended. I promise you, this ain't what I intended when I said, yeah, I'll marry you. This ain't it. But you know that whole in sickness and in health thing? Yeah. Here you go. So, but I promise y'all, he takes care of me. And I know people are like, well, I mean, he doesn't make as much money. And he worries about that too. He doesn't make enough money. And I'm like, money ain't the issue, sweetheart. I promise you. Money ain't the issue. I don't care about the money. I make enough money for the both of us. I promise you I do. I make enough for the both of us. I Even if he were to, God forbid, lose his job or something like that, I make enough for the both of us. We would survive, and we would survive comfortably. So, I mean, I don't care about that way of taking care of me. That's not my issue. What I'm looking for, and what you guys have heard me talk about in dealing with my ex-husband, I'm looking for a partner who is going to take care of me emotionally, who is going to recognize my needs and my wants, and not necessarily cater to me, but at least respect me enough to not treat me like trash. Okay? Like, I don't ask for much here. So I'm just asking you, don't treat me like trash. So, and he does not. He does not at all. Like, and I can tell you guys too, it is, we could be in a party, and we've been in a party before, and he's not paid any attention. But we'll be at a party, and he is the only other person in the room. Like, for me, we could be surrounded by people. He has a very large family, so generally if we go to a party and his family, it is full of people. And, like, it's his cousins and their significant others, his aunts and uncles, like, his dad and his stepmom. Like, I mean, it's a bunch of people and family, friends, that sort of thing. He the only person, like, I don't pay nobody else no attention. He's the only person, like, I'm just sitting there just looking at him. And I'm not, I mean, I'm a sociable person, but I don't like being sociable. He is absolutely the life of the party, however. So I told him his middle name should be Party Time. Because he is the life of the party. He will go to a party and just be wide open. And I'm just like sitting back in the back like, I don't really want to talk to people right now. I don't really want to be here at this party, but because husband said we got to go, I guess we're going. So he is that person. He likes to be involved in the thick of things. He's very, very extroverted. I am more of an introverted extrovert. I can be extroverted if I need to be. So, like, and I was very much an extrovert when I was a child, but as an adult, no. I don't like people. So I don't like being around large groups of people. I don't like being around people. And this was pre-pandemic, so y'all have heard me talk about this. But he'll come into the room. If, say, he's not in the same room, I'm already looking around like, okay, where's my husband? Like, where is husband? So, but he'll walk into a room and it's like, if you guys have ever seen Juggernaut, bitch, there's a part in there where they're like, oh shit, Juggernaut's back. It's like that. I'm like, oh shit, husband's back. And I was like, he can walk into a room and nobody else matters. Literally, I'll just be like, stop talking to me. My husband is here. Husband. And he's just like, okay. But he does not, I don't think he realizes the depth of how I feel about him enough that I literally will stop talking to someone so I see what it is he's doing. Like, and I try not to be super clingy and ridiculous because I recognize that could be ridiculous, but like, I can't think of anything where I would go, I don't like that about him. There are things about him that annoy me, but nothing where I'm just like, I dislike that about you, and I don't want to be around you and spend time with you because of that. Like, excuse me. I don't at any point am I like, nah, this is not the person I need to be around. No, I really like spending time with him. So yeah, I really like being around him. I can be around him 24/7. Now there's sometimes where I'm just like, Okay, baby, you got to go in the other room. Go and he realizes he'll go do something else in another room, and I'll be in here doing something, working on GI, or like I'm watching something on TV, and he's in the other room playing a game or something. But for the most part, though, I'll tell him spend time with your wife, and he'll come spend time with me. So I've been trying not to like breathe on him too much this whole time that I've been sick because COVID. So yeah, no, I don't know. I'm like that about it. And I've always been that way about him. Even when we were friends, I very much valued his opinion as much as I do now, even more so now because husband. But when we were just friends, I valued his opinion a great deal. If I always would ask him, what do you think? What do you think I should do? Like I would come ask him for advice and be like, what do you think I should do? And I always wanted to know what he thought about something because my husband is one of the sweetest, like nicest people, and he always strives to do the right thing. So I feel like he, if he says something is wrong with something, chances are I'm gonna agree with him. Like we agree about 99.9% of the time on things. So if he tells me something, I'm already probably thinking that, and he just, like tells me his opinion on something. Like I try to do my best because I want to make him proud. Also myself. It's for myself too, but I want to make him proud. I want to make him like I want to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do, but also because I know my husband would agree. So with doing the right thing. So yeah, I try my hardest to be a good person just because it is the right thing to do. It does not cost a thing to be kind. Y'all hear me say that all the time too. But definitely because I feel like my husband would be disappointed in me if I didn't do the right thing. And when you got somebody in your corner that like believes in you enough that they look at you and they say, you know what, I trust that you are going to do the right thing, and I trust that you know what you're doing, even when you don't know what you're doing. And they look to you for leadership sometimes and to make decisions that affect both of you. The fact that he's in my corner says a lot, because I can tell you guys, my home life for a long time was not that. I only had like maybe 3 people who were in my corner, like who I felt were in my corner. My auntie Jean, all these people are dead, by the way. My auntie Jean, whose house I live in, my mom was my biggest cheerleader. Like my mom was like the person who, as Brandon is now, my mom was the person who was like, I trust your judgment, and I believe in you, and I know you're smart enough and capable enough to be able to do. And whatever you can't do, I'll be right here helping you do it. Until she wasn't. And I think she felt guilty, maybe. And I'm like, no, baby, that's not on you. That's on me to make sure I can take care of myself. You set me up with the foundation to be able to take care of myself and to be able to believe in myself. So no, I'm not alone. I could do it myself. I don't need these other people who are supposed to be family. I don't need those people to validate me. I don't need that. I've never needed that. I had you, and you set me up to be able to believe in myself enough that I would be able to do it on my own once you're gone. So, I'm not. Nah, don't feel guilty. No, I was like, no, baby, you did a good job. You did a very good job. I have enough confidence to be able to come out of things on my own and be cool. And trust and believe I'm cool. So that's why when you guys heard me say my Aunt A was talking about, well, I just feel like that you're waiting for our approval. Approval for what? Approval of what? What have I ever come to you for approval about? You wasn't relevant back in the day. So you definitely ain't relevant now. What I'm coming to you for approval for? I just keep you in the loop because you're family. But trust me, I cannot do that. Like, I'm not coming to ask you for approval for anything. I can take care of myself. And I'm grown. I very much can take care of myself. I have been put in a very good position to be able to do so. And guess what? It's done. So what I'm coming to you for? Like, I don't like people who presume that they are more important than they really are. You wasn't important to start with. You made that be so. You made it so that you were not important and relevant in my life in any major decision, any type of care, any type of tending to, any type of like major milestone or thing in my life. You made it so that you were not relevant or considered because that's what you asked for. You didn't want to be involved. You didn't want to be close to me. You didn't want to be a part of any type of important shit in my life. Not at all. So why would I start now? Just because my mama dead don't mean I'm going to start now. As a matter of fact, I'm definitely not going to start it. So you go ahead and finish that. Consider that done. Because the time for that is long past. You a day late and $1 short. So that's why I'm just like, I don't understand what you mean. Because I ain't never coming to you for approval for nothing. You not important. Like, anybody who was important to me, who actually, was involved in the care of me and the tending to of me, they dead. Like, they are very dead. So, and the other people would have been my grandmama and my granddaddy before his mind got bad. Yeah, my grandma, my granddaddy, my auntie Jean, and my mama. Like, that's it. That's it. Like, I mean, my other aunts, some of my other aunts were, they at least, like, supported me. And they were very much, very, very, very supportive of me. And they loved me. But they did too. So I'm just stuck with the ones who are literally like, I don't care about you. Not at all. Not really. And I'm just like, why would I come to y'all? You made it very plainly clear from about age 3 until now that you don't give a shit about me and my welfare and my well-being. Why in the hell would I come to you for anything? First of all, starting with approval for anything, but definitely anything else. Ain't coming to you because I need your opinion on it. I'm just telling you so your ass won't be sitting up here crying about how somebody don't talk to you about nothing and don't tell you what's going on with them. Because, see, I could have very easily gotten married and not invited any of my mama's people. I certainly didn't invite none of my daddy's people. I take that back. I did invite my sister. One of my sisters. I invited one of my sisters and her sister and their mom. But other than that, from my daddy's side, wasn't nobody else from my daddy's side invited. Not at all. Wasn't trying. So I really didn't need any of my people there. Not at all. Some of these people on my mama's side, I could have done without most, if not all, of the people on my mama's side. So I'm just sitting there like, okay. So when I show up with this dude randomly, then you're going to be mad because you don't know nothing about, like, you're going to be like, well, why didn't you tell us you got married again? This Exhibit A is exactly why I didn't tell you that I got married again. But see, instead of doing that, I tried not to do that because I felt like that would be super disrespectful and rude. And I'm thinking, well, family, let's at least not be hostile. Don't be hostile and mean-spirited. But again, trying to do the right thing, doing the right thing got me right where I didn't want to be. And I can tell y'all going forward, Two, anything dealing with renewing our vows and doing anything with, like having a party to celebrate or whatever. Nah, I'm not. Nah, I already know how you feel. You ain't got to tell my black ass twice. Okay? You don't. You ain't got to tell my black ass twice. I'm not going out of my way to make sure that anybody can come or that anybody's invited or that anybody know. Because I'm like, why? You let me know the first time that you didn't particularly appreciate being considered. You didn't care and you really wasn't excited about it. And on top of that, you didn't see why I needed to have this expense and why I needed to do X, Y, Z and do all this extra ass shit. And I just don't understand why you want to get married again and da 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 da. Okay, so why would I invite you to anything dealing with any type of vow renewal? Like, that's what got me. When Aunt A sat up there and said, talking about, well, you can't cut all your family out. Why? Why would I let any of you know anything dealing with the postponed ceremony that we had? Why would I let any of y'all know anything? What would be the point of letting you know? She lucky she knew. Because I was fixing to be like, I really don't need to call her and tell her. She found out just like everybody else. Fuck her. Like, I really was, I was really of the mind to do that. Because I really sat there and I thought about things. The whole time all of that bullshitting was going on, where y'all saw me talk about in the family drama, part 1 and part 2, she literally sat there and did not say anything in my defense. Not once. And I was like, oh, okay, so I see what's going on here. You driving the bus. she collecting the tickets and driving the bus. That's, backing up over my black ass the whole time. And I know that you waited until my mama was dead to want to sit up here and not defend me. When I'm pretty sure she told you that your job after, she was gone was to look out for my kid. Okay? Look out for both of them. But definitely look out for my kid. She right here next to you. And she gonna need some guidance. I know my mama said that. I know for a fact Gloria Nicholson Hicks sat her ass up here as she was dying and said, look, I need you to watch my kids. Watch over my kids. One last time. Can you do that? I'm very sure. But you know what? Far be it from me to pry into what a dead person told a living person as they final wishes. That ain't none of my business. But I'm pretty certain. Okay? So, far be it from me. You know what, though? I ain't here to speculate. But I can tell y'all, I'm almost certain my mama said that. Knowing how my mama was. And I knew my mama very well. Trust me when I tell y'all, I know where the bodies are buried, okay? So, when somebody, somebody that well, and they probably said that. So I already knew what was going down. But I sat there and I looked at her and I was like, now you just sat up here and exposed yourself. You feckless coward. Just bullshitting me the whole damn time I'm sitting up here coming to you for guidance. You literally out here damn plotting to just gassing the bus up. You just gassing the bus up, getting the brakes checked, making sure the door open for your passengers. I mean, I can't believe. Actually, I can. You would think that after 40 years, I would not be surprised. I'm not really, but at the same time, I am. Because it's just like, really? How did I know it was going to be you? I knew that. So, but when I tell y'all, yeah. So, when all the people around you die, who are your biggest supporters and cheerleaders, you literally got nobody. I got shithead sibling who resents my actual existence, like my whole ass actual existence, just mad up, and has been mad for 40. I'm 40. I am 40. I will be 42 this year. 40 for 45 of those 42 years, he has literally been mad about my existence. If he could have gone into the negative of time, he would have. So there's that. Then I had literally, you hear me talk about the aunts. They're a whole other fucked up situation that's super dysfunctional, all on a different level. So you're surrounded by that. You got cousins that ain't exactly fond of you. Let's call it that. Who will smile in your face and then stab you in the back. And I'm like, really? Damn, I'm magical, but really? Oh, all right. You listen. You jealous of this dysfunction and fuckery over here? Okay, all right. Well, you come get all of it then. Since you want it so bad, come get all of it. You don't want this. You don't want any of this. Why are you jealous of this? That is the dumbest thing in the world. I'm like, do you not realize some, if not all of the fuckery I have been through? Like, do you really want all of that? All right, be my guest. You sit up there and be jealous of it if you want to, but you be careful what you ask for, because this ain't it. This existence is not it. So I don't get it. So couple all of that, I got nobody. I don't know anybody on my daddy's side. I don't interact with my sisters. One of my sisters is completely obnoxious and fucking delusional about the fact that her daddy had more kids. The other one, I just don't talk to her, and I don't talk to my brother. So on that side, so it's like, I don't got nobody over there. I don't know any of those people, and I have a lot of cousins apparently on that side. I just don't know them. So I got nobody, and then I got Brandon, and I got friends. I do have friends, but I got Brandon. So the fact that Brandon has stepped up and has been super instrumental in being there for me and emotionally supporting, and I can't thank the man enough. I mean, he ain't gotta. I just go it alone if I had to. But I'm thankful that he has. So when I sit here and I see people who are just determined to tear down my shit, look at the person who is supportive. I got one person. One. I apparently ain't supposed to have nothing. I'm not supposed to have anything. I'm not supposed to have anything. I got one person. And they like, nah, you ain't supposed to have that either. I'm like, I ain't supposed to have nothing? No. Nothing. You ain't supposed to have nothing. And I'm like, fuck out of here. Like, I was just like, fuck out of here. Y'all crazy. Because there's no reason that I am not supposed to be allowed to have something. That's that bullshit. To be quite honest. I don't understand people at all. Whew. So, yeah, no, yeah, I'm very thankful that my husband is great. I appreciate you, babe. I really do. I very much appreciate you. You're the best thing that's ever happened to me. Pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah, I can't think of too many other things. But yeah, so other than that, I ain't nothing else going on. Husband bought a new car finally, or a newer car. I'm very happy for him. I was like, baby, it's time. It's time. You got to let that baby go. He 15 years old. I was like, you gotta let him go. He old. You gotta let him go. So he did. He got him. He finally got this car that we've been talking about getting since before we got married. Well before we got married. So, yeah, it's a really nice SUV. I'm very, very happy for him. I was like, baby, you deserve the best. You should be able to come in here and get you the best thing on the lot. You should be able to drive around in comfort and style and have you something nice for yourself. You deserve the best. And I was like, we're going to find out a way to get you the best here. So we did. I was like, you know what? Like, you deserve the best. If I could afford to, like, bought it for him, I would have bought it for him and surprised him with it. But I can't do that. So, I can't do that. But yes, nah, he deserves the best. He's the best husband. So, he's the best husband. I told him, I said, you must have been tops in your class in husband school. Because you the best. I said, you came out with straight A's in husband school, didn't you? And he just looked at me. He was like, man, whatever, wife. And I'm like, yeah, you did. But yeah, everything's been fine aside from this second bout of COVID. So I anticipate getting better, and I'm hoping that I should be okay in a couple of days. If I'm not positive, if I'm still positive on the 22nd, I ain't going back into work. Not till I test positive. I mean, I test negative on a home test. So hopefully that will be on the 22nd, 21st or 22nd. Because that'll be my 10 days. So we're going to see how this works. Otherwise, I'm just enjoying being at the house. Chilling. Doing absolutely nothing. But watching Korean dramas. Korean dramas and playing video games. I have been well enough to be up and moving around this time. I was not the last time that I had COVID. The first 5 days, I could not get up and move around. Like, I felt awful. So, this time around, like I said, it's much milder. And I have been moving around. I've been online doing stuff. I'm up recording this video on day 5. So, and I feel okay other than the runny nose. I do feel okay other than that. So, yeah, I'm good. So, now that we've started season 5, here we are. I will be back with more videos. We're going to conscientiously do stuff for Dark Girl Chronicles and see if we can't, get things moving a little bit. I'm hoping to have probably about 14 to 16 episodes for this season. So, and we're going to try to do it in a more timely fashion. And get things moving along. So, I want to thank you guys for watching. Come back and see me later. I have more episodes about my life and the craziness that is being me. I'll see you guys later. Deuces.